Before the show even starts, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Samantha Ludi. She turned 31 yesterday.
Let's go.
31. It is Thursday, July 25th. And today we have two guests that are going to make you laugh very hard. We got America's sweetheart on the show, Ryan Nehmiller, the comedian from America's Got Talent, #ClubNub. Great conversation with him about life. And then following him up, we have a rising country music sensation, Mr. Tenpenny. I knew nothing about this guy. Just like you listening, you probably don't know enough about him and know anything about him. I knew nothing about him until his name was passed along through a record label through Nick Morodo. Is that right?
Yeah. Ipso facto, that's about what happened. A record label reached out to you. You said, Nick, deal with this. Dealt with. Now we get an interview.
There you go. Yes, that's what he said.
So Nick and his company had a conversation, and they said, we think this particular guy on our label, Sony, would be a good interview for you guys. They sent a name over. Nick took a screenshot, sent it to me, and said, I don't know who the fuck the guy is. And I said, me neither. Then I searched his music, listened to a couple songs. I said, I would at least like a couple minutes of this guy's time. Mm-hmm. I would like to hear where this human is coming from. And he's a funny guy. I like him a lot.
Oh, so good.
I like him a lot.
Big fan.
Literally FaceTimed us from a pickup truck in the middle of the woods.
Just a normal guy.
A very normal human being. He's got a good story, too. So today, a couple great stories from very cool individuals. Speaking of cool individuals, you could be one of those. When you buy a ticket to a live event, that is right, SeatGeek, right now. Everything must go. Promo code PAT, $10 off your first order. Promo code McAfee, $20 off your first order. When I say this, I mean this. It's becoming live event season quicker than you could say it's live event season.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. You heard what I said.
Yeah.
Well said.
A lot of concerts. It's summer. Weather's breaking.
good
A lot of concerts.
Good
go to a
point,
concert. Maybe take a group of friends. Hey, boys, let's go see
Hootie.
August 14th here in Indianapolis.
It's weird how that just came out.
Or take your lady to a concert or a show, or maybe go alone. Be a part of the crowd. Because literally, when the show's happening, who cares who you're with? Because you're there having a great time. Yeah. And also, good time to order football tickets. Because right now, we are sitting on deck to football season. It's only a few days away. If you really think about it, you can already smell it in the air. You can taste it with your taste buds. The air is just, it's becoming this scent of victory.
Breathe it in.
Which is football season. That's a very meathead line there. It's true, though. Everybody's excited for football season. I can't wait. You need to get your tickets to a game right now. Take somebody. Be a hero. Go to SeatGeek, the app. Download it. And your first purchase with promo code PAT, get $10 off. Promo code McAfee, $20 off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to be inspired. Not really. I mean, I don't think it was really that inspirational of a conversation. It's time to laugh while we talk to another human who's not normally in here. Sorry you had to hang out, Ryan.
Oh, no worry. Whatever, man. Like I was telling them, I don't hate you guys, so it's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you just heard is the man who is going to win this season of America's Got Talent. #ClubNub. He's been a comedian only for a couple weeks. That's all it's been. And he's gone straight to the top.
For summer vacation, I decided to take a stand-up. And
pick up a hobby. A hilarious individual. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Nehmiller.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Ryan, on Tuesday, America's Got Talent. Got a chance to display your work once again, much to the chagrin of not only the judges, the people in the audience, but everybody watching at home. You are America's sweetheart, Ryan. How does that feel?
It's pretty nice. I was all over that damn episode.
Yeah, America's Got Ryan Nehmiller.
Yeah, that was a lot of me.
It was all you.
I did not expect that. It was very cool. Like, it's still kind of like we talked about last time I was here. It's stressful because you don't know what it's going to look like until it airs. Like
editing wise?
Yeah, that was the first time I saw all that, like how it actually was going to be presented. So
Wow, so you were nervous when it was going.
oh, absolutely. I was terrified.
So
you know?
because Ryan Nehmiller visited us a few weeks ago, and he lied right to our face and said he didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh, I knew exactly what happened.
He lied to us, but he's a.
I don't hate you guys, but I don't like you enough to not
Yeah,
lie to you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
We get it, non-disclosures, whatever. We'll take everything you've ever had. Yeah, I get it. Did they make you sign one of those?
Oh, absolutely.
And what was in it? What if you did tell us? What would they take? Like every?
Pretty much. They would take the rest of my fingers, which is real. And I can't chance that. I can't chance that. All right, it's too risky.
For those listening at home who might not know, can you explain why that joke is so hilarious?
I'm a human lobster. That's about it. That's kind of explains it. From the elbow down, it's a nightmare basically. That's what's happening. But yeah, I don't have all my digits.
And this is you were born this way.
Yes.
It was it's a physical disability that you have that you've worked into a beautiful way to not only thrive but dominate in this world that you live in when others might not be able to do it. So I think you are, and I think I like that America's Got Talent kind of understands this too. Not only are you one of the funniest humans I've ever heard in my entire life, you're also representing something that isn't represented a lot. And I think that is a fucking awesome thing for you. Do you feel like that type of pressure now that you're you're definitely somebody that little kids are looking up to right now for sure?
Oh, absolutely. Like there's pressure to it, but it's what I wanted to do when I did this. Like I don't want to have to be, like I wish I didn't have to be that kind of like role model or that kind of spokesman, but they won't let anyone else do it. so I might as well. I think we talked a little bit last time too about like when I was growing up, there was Jim Abbott. That was the closest thing. It was Jim Abbott, and there was no one else that had anything even close to what I did. So like, I didn't know what I could do, like especially when you're young, you look at people that are kind of like you, and you're like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And there was no one really that was if he can do it for me.
That's hope, right?
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you see somebody either make it from your hometown or from your area, or you can connect with somebody on television who's made it, or maybe you have a run-in with a lawyer or a doctor, you meet them and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm like that person. If he can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. And for somebody who's physically disabled, there's not a lot of that on television. So there's not a lot of like, oh, I can make it in showbiz, which is one of the most scrutinized businesses in history.
I mean, if you have a weird eyebrow, you're screwed. In entertainment, so let alone.
Did stand-up comedy, was that something you knew you were going to be forever? Like,
it was pro wrestling was what it was going to be.
Let's go.
Really, when I was really young, that's where the cripple threat came from. That's where all that was. That was going to be the wrestling. That was always the dream. And my body just couldn't take the training. It was.
What about commentating?
Commentating, I mean, in hindsight, yeah. But at the time, I was like, I wanted to be a wrestler. Like, when you're 16, you don't want to be a commentator. Right. In most
I told
cases,
Michael Cole that right to his face. Michael Cole was like, I've heard you've been interested in getting into the business with WWE. And I was like, yeah, I get like in the ring, like with the big intro and like the music and like the microphone in the arena. Never really thought about, sitting on the side there where nobody hears you or likes you. Never really thought.
At best, they nothing you.
And Cole started rattling off all the positives to being a commentator. And I was like, I was wrong, obviously. Michael Cole, I was completely wrong. You're right. Commentating is a great fucking gig in the WWE.
Oh, yeah. One of my best friends in the world, Johnny LaQuasto, he just got signed by NXT a few months ago, and he's a commentator down there, and he loves it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's an old stand-up comic, too, and he loves comedy, but, he's like, yeah, this is awesome. I get to sleep in my own bed, and I still get to perform.
Yeah, and you're hosting the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, Michael Cole is the host of Monday Night Raw. He's the host. Him, Corey, and Renee, they just carry 3 hours of television, basically. Yep. And whenever you start looking at it that way, you're like, oh, you know what? I think I would like that, actually. Yeah, McAfee hosting Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'd love that.
3 hours of guaranteed TV time. And
exactly.
That's got to suck.
That had to be tough for him at first, though, because he replaced JR, who everybody loved. And I remember when Cole first came in, he was not universally liked.
And I think he still carries that chip on his shoulder that everybody hates him, by the way. Because I'll literally walk in public with him somewhere before an event, and they're like, "Mr. Cole, an autograph, please." And he just keeps his head down and walk. I'm like, Mike, why don't you go fucking sign for that kid? Like, he's gonna kill him. He's like, he probably said something fucking terrible about me on the internet. And I was like,
He's like, I found that guy's tweet. I don't trust
I was
him.
like, no, Michael Cole. I think you're much more liked than you think. He's like, is that right, Pat? That's what he says to me. And then he's like, you want to look at my mentions? I'm like, and I was like, no, I'm not going to dig into that too much, but I can understand because he's basically an extension of the company, right? He is the company, basically. He's speaking for the company. He's the voice of the WWE. And on SmackDown on Tuesday night, he got a chance to do color. So he or not color. Yeah, he got to do color instead of play-by-play. Okay. Tom Phillips was doing play-by-play. He did color. So he got to just be like a smartass. Like he got to be like a little bit looser smartass. And I searched his name on Twitter, and it was all like, hey, Michael, am I mistaken, or is Michael Cole very entertaining right now?
Yeah.
There was like 6-7 tweets like that, so I screenshotted it, sent it to him. I'm like, look, man, start taking pictures of little fucking kids.
yeah. When he just gets to be him, because there's been a couple of the events, like I remember the Tokyo WWE event, where it was kind of a lot looser. He was great. When he's a charismatic, funny guy.
I want to say this after meeting him. Good guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now, granted, I should have expected the story I told about the WrestleMania where he almost kicked me off the show for having shorts. Like, if people know actual Michael Cole, that's funny to hear. But to the fans that don't know actual Michael Cole, they're like, oh, what a fucking asshole. That's how it went.
You should have wore only shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
that guy.
Exactly. That's why everybody was like, oh, you should fight Michael Cole or whatever. I'm like, I don't think you get who Michael Cole is. Like, this dude is an awesome individual. But with that being, you started stand-up comedy at what age?
I was 24 when I officially started.
Oh, what was the job before that? What do we do?
I was finishing up my theater degree from Indiana State.
So 6 years?
Yeah, well, 5 years of school, 1 year of not being at school in the middle of that.
Got a master's in theater. Right.
Exactly.
So you start stand-up, and how'd it go immediately?
Way better than it should have. That is one good thing about having a disability. It's unique enough that people will at least give it a shot, at least initially.
Icebreaker.
Exactly. They'll be like, oh, at least this is different. You know, and when you're only doing like a 5 to 7 minute set at the most for your first couple years, they don't have a time to like judge you.
And it's a shitty little show, like you know, one of those places that didn't even know comedy was there that night or whatever, and it's going to be 10 of us going up.
It's a laundromat.
Yeah, when they look at me,
clink, clink,
clink. They look at me and they're like, "Well, he's fucking interrupting the Pacers game right now," so they're pissed, and then they look at you like, we have to pay attention.
Wait a
what
minute.
is happening here?
I am not going to be a bad person. I got to listen to what he has to say.
I think they're fake.
And then by the time they could get...
If we were sitting at a bar, just me and my boys, and you got up there, we are all so like pessimistic about everything. We'd be like, it's fucking fake.
Yeah.
His arms are in his sleeve.
Yeah. He's the best magician we've ever seen. That's all there is to it.
But we would listen though. But it would stun all of us, right? We'd stop and listen. And Todd used to say this to me about big name people that do stand up comedy, right? Because I always, which is true, I defer. And a lot of comedians said this about me too. Like, because I was the punter for the Colts, that's why my stand up shows are selling, right? And Todd knew that got to me, right? When people were saying this. And Todd's like, yeah, but how many shows does that count for, Pat? You know, you can't be 20-some deep and people are still buying tickets because you punted for the Colts. He would always like try to make me feel that way.
Yeah, that's true. Like they would come the first time.
Yeah, that lets them show up.
But they wouldn't come the second time.
The first time they'll be like, oh, let's see what the novelty of.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking about.
McAfee
And that's what I'm thinking about for you too, right? You get their attention, like you would get our attention, and you would have probably 2 minutes. We'd be like, all right, let's give this guy our attention. Then once you have it, you have to keep it. And the ability to do that, which you have done here for decades now, is fucking awesome. And I think the fact that you're getting on America's Got Talent, and America's Got Talent is pushing you too, right? It has to feel good instead of being pushed away by the same company, even all like the same business you've always tried to make. Seems like they're pushing you now. You enjoying that?
Oh, it's kind of the opposite of what my general experience in comedy has been.
That's what I'm saying.
It's been so much of me, clawing and scratching and, just trying to get someone to get behind me. And then for such a gigantic show to get as behind me. I mean, obviously, I got to bring it. Like, I had to do my part. They didn't pick me out of a hat.
Hell
go, like, he's our chosen cripple. He's the one.
But it is because it's about to happen to us. right? So I've always been in the same position you are, with a little bit more on the internet. No main, any like characters really gave us a push. But now this upcoming fall, we're about to get a hell of a push, and it's like, okay, now now that you have, but now that you have the push, like the confidence to know that you can deliver is a cool one. And without all those years on the road, I'm not sure you have that confidence that you're going to show.
Yeah, and that's the great part of it too. Where as much as those, I'm almost 13 years in. As much as those, last 12 years have kind of sucked, it's hard. The road is not fun most of the time. It's pretty terrible, actually, a lot of time. But just to know that, like, had I gotten this opportunity, 8 years ago, I would have crashed and burned because I wasn't as good as performer at the time, wasn't mature enough to be on the road or and have these kind of like expectations of you.
Yep.
Because, people are coming to see me on purpose now. That's weird. When you have 12 years of just being like a happy accident, like if someone comes to a show and they're like, oh, that guy was great, I should have listened to his name. I'll never find him again.
A lot of those people, when they saw you on America's Got Talent, they're like, honey, it's the fucking guy.
I told you, it was the weirdo. It was clack, 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 it was the lobster man. I told you, we found him. So now for having people come on purpose and still having that and know that I can handle.
It has to feel good to know that you're ready, though. Like,
absolutely.
Because for instance, that's a real conversation you have to have with yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Like, am I ready for what's about to happen? And I don't know if the rest of the boys have, but our fall is about to be gigantic. And there was a cool moment where I was like, yeah, but I'm ready for it. Like, I feel like I'm in a position now where I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
where
you're still anxious. You're still nervous about it. You still have that little bit like, oh, this is going to be. But like, yeah, this is what I've been doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I got on the America's Got Talent stage, like when I got out there, it's just a show at that point.
Yep.
It's a big opportunity. But like as far as the performance, I've done that thousands of times.
Been here, done this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a cool feeling.
I know I can deliver that.
A comedian's never won America's Got Talent before.
Nope.
Runner
up, I think 3 times.
Yeah, and you shy away from it, but I think you're going to win.
So he doesn't want to say it because he don't want to jinx himself.
Yeah,
I think everybody in this room thinks, and as somebody that watches that show, normally you can tell who's going to go. You're getting a cool push right now.
Yeah.
It's a cool push.
I've never seen someone featured that much in one episode before. It was like literally like every 7 minutes they were like, hey, wait, where's the Ryan cam? Where's the Ryan Nehmiller camera?
Yeah, even my mom, who I was watching with, she was like, Jesus Christ, Ryan. And she's like the most supportive mother on the planet.
For those that didn't watch, it's a 2-hour show, but they always do these behind the scenes shots and clips and stuff, and they feature. Normally, it's a all the people they think are going to probably move on, and normally it's a rotating shot. This time Ryan got a lot of love, and it was like, it's not normal because they're trying to introduce you to everybody before the thing even starts. They're trying to get the crowd to be like, oh, we like this guy a lot. He's cool backstage. He's great on. And then your story was shared a little bit too, which I didn't know that your dad and you shared a love of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that was that and the Cubs. Those were the 2 things that.
Let's go.
And he obviously has passed away, but you made a comment that like, I think my dad would have enjoyed seeing me on TV. Like, I almost started crying whenever I was like, man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, everybody on earth is like, this is the guy.
Yeah, and that was like, because my dad and I weren't close really. Like he just like I kind of explain it like I loved my dad, but I didn't like him very much. You
Makes
know,
sense,
like you don't. I wish it had gone differently, but I mean, alcohol is a real bitch, you know. Like once it gets you, it's not. That's just what it is sometimes. And
true.
But that was a thing. Like I always remember, like growing up, like those were like Cubs games were always great. Anything sports was usually awesome. And then just like stand up, my dad would let me stay up late, to watch like Robin Williams, and he loved Gallagher, nice. And things like that. Yeah. So getting to stay up and watch those specials, it was like a cool time where it's like, oh, This is fun, Dad. This is kind of how it's supposed to be. And so then I kind of learned a little bit like the power of like, comedy and things like that. Like everyone likes to laugh. Like it's pretty universal.
Right.
That people enjoy that.
The thought that you two shared that, right? So maybe not all great times, but the things that you did enjoy or your positive memories of your dad, then getting a chance to do that inside, that has to be quite a fulfilling feeling, honestly, because it's probably, what do you chase stand-up comedy for 12 years? This is it, right? This is what you're chasing for 13 years.
I didn't want to half-ass this, when I did it. Like I I don't have the time and the brain space to like not go full out on what I'm trying to do. And I mean, that's been a lot of my career has been trying to, I have a huge chip on my shoulder, you know, just proving people wrong. You know, the amount of times that, like, I get a little guff. It's been mostly positive, and we talked about this before, but you know, people are like, oh, all he talks about is his disability. Well, that's my life, dummy. Like that's you know, like if I have to deal with all the negative parts of it, like I'm gonna put this as much in your face as possible. I'm gonna turn this into something. If you're gonna doubt me, you're gonna immediately downplay me all the time because of it. Well, here we go.
This is a good conversation. Do you ever wonder where your ancestors are from?
All the time.
Mm-hmm. I was watching Shane Lowry win that golf tournament, and he's from Ireland.
Yep.
And I know that I'm from Ireland, and I often wonder if any of his ancestors used to throw down some pints with any of my ancestors.
Good chance of that.
Hey,
Am I connected at all to the guy that just won the cup?
The Open Championship, the Claret Jug.
There it is. It's not a cup.
and did your people make the season salt? Because it's good.
My people?
Lowry's.
Oh, see, I don't know if my people did it, but I wonder if they're from the same neighborhood as where Shane Lowry and Lowry salt is from. And you can track that type of shit nowadays, which you could never track back in the day. Nowadays, there are things where you get this little tube, you spit into it in the morning. Not let it have water beforehand, which is kind of weird because you don't have a lot of spit in your mouth.
Yeah.
So you really got to get your real spit in there. You send it off with a number, and then all of a sudden, just like a few weeks later, you get an email that tells you exactly where every single part of your body is from. And that's from your good friends at 23andMe. I did this, and I learned very quickly that I'm 0.09% Italian. My entire life, I made fun of the Italians. Turns out, a lot of apologies are due. And that's what 23andMe can do. You ever have questions on why you handle alcohol differently than somebody else?
Yep.
Well, it could possibly be your genetic makeup, because with 23andMe, they dive into all those things. Is your earwax more likely to get clogged or be loose? 23andMe can tell you, wait a minute, my face breaks out to this types of thing. Well, you might be allergic to it. You'll find out where you're from, how your body acts and reacts, and 23andMe is one spit cup away to tell you that. There's a whole world of genes just waiting to meet you, and 125 plus personalized genetic reports on your health traits and more. The right personal health plan starts with the right data.
Either or.
Both are acceptable.
You're getting them both, too.
You get both.
Your health reports can give you insights about your DNA so you can build a health plan that is unique to you. 23andMe reports do not diagnose disease or describe overall likelihood of developing any disease. 23andMe tests selected genetic variants only. Visit 23andMe.com/Pat for important test information. Order your health and ancestry kit at 23andme.com/PAT. And you can meet your genes in 125 plus personalized genetic reports. That's the number 23andme.com/PAT. Learn about yourself. Learn about your future. Learn about your past.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're past,
Definitely works.
We're past this ad. Back to the show. That person, though, has no idea about anything comedy related, because comedy related is a personal thing. It's either your perspective on things, right? Like, oh, this is my perspective on something that everybody sees. This is my life story. It'd be impossible for you to do comedy without talking about having to deal with that.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about it forever. I don't want it to be the only thing I do.
How about that beard? We should start talking about that beard.
Beard is luxurious.
You got a good beard going right now.
My beard and hair game was on point last night on AGT for sure. I looked good. I look good.
Will they have a fashion person or a stylist for you?
For the live shows, yeah, they clean you up.
I can't wait.
I
cannot wait to see what you end up looking like.
I think I'm going to try to get one of Terry Cruz's suits. I'm going to see if I can get that.
No shirt underneath?
Oh, just flexing the pecs.
Damn, I can't.
He was telling me out there they have like a whole set coordinator for you, so he like kind of gets to pick his set and stuff like that.
Yeah, they let you kind of be a little more you, which is nice. Yeah, they let you kind of.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna set up like
I don't know yet. I don't know. Part of it is no spoilers kind of thing. But part of it, like I'm still figuring it out. I want to.
I got
it's a big chance.
Your shadow puppet thing. You do the shadow puppets in
I'll
the
do the shadow
background.
puppet. Okay.
Put those up there.
All right, hold on. You do shadow puppet? That is hilarious.
I do one. It's a it's a dinosaur. Maybe a goose or a swan if you're fancy. But that's about it.
It's an incredible opener.
Exactly. If you're
No, I think that's the closer.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, to wrap,
I mean, the shadow art acts are cool. So if I went out there and just started doing it, and it was just all a dinosaur the entire time.
what are they're called the shadow something.
Verba shadow.
So do you get to meet all these people?
Yeah. For that round especially, like you are with those people all day, every day.
Somebody loved that shadow one more than I did. And I think it's because I've watched AGT so much. I've seen so many incredibly talented individuals that I've gotten like, I don't want to say numb to it, but it is like I've gotten numb to the incredibly talented people that I didn't even know existed a couple years ago. And then you watch it and you're like, not as good as the Jabberwockies. It's like hard to do that. It's hard not to compare.
Oh, like for me, it was super fun because like when you're on the road doing comedy, you don't get to see this stuff.
Oh,
like
nobody gets to see this stuff.
I don't get to see dancers, and I've never been to a magic show.
I only see it once a year when AGT comes
exactly.
around.
Exactly.
So for me, getting to actually like be there, and like plus they're my friends now, so getting to watch your friends do something cool that you can't. Is amazing.
Less than 1% of people on Earth can do what some of those people do.
Did you see the dude that was? He had the chair, and then he curled his legs around the back of the chair, so now his shoulders are on the ground. He's over the back of the chair. Held his wife up with both hands. She's standing, 1 foot in each of his hands. Did a fucking setup, so he's planked now in the chair, and then goes to a full standing position with her
on top of the chair.
Yes.
Yeah, these
fucking incredible.
I was going to close with that, but they went on before me, and I was like, well, now what do I do?
Is there any, because granted, you said you didn't know the editing. Was there any like showbiz, like were they trying to spin anything in the back, or do they ask you questions like prod things out of you or anything like that?
I don't know how much of that I can talk about.
It's
not
question,
that.
Pat. Go ahead, write that down.
I will say they let me be genuine.
Nice.
So I can't speak for anyone else. Everything I said and did was as genuine as I could possibly do, given the circumstances of you're on a major television show.
Like, hey, we're trying to entertain you.
Yeah, so no one's exactly, 100% themselves. It's impossible when a camera's on. But
I think now that we live in a much more woke society, I think we very much understand that is how things go now, right? Like, hey, we understand that they're not sitting up on this platform with perfect lighting on them with a microphone in between them, just casually. I think the world knows now that there's something.
Yeah, I will tell you, for me though, like all those interactions were as real as could possibly get though, because they're your buddies, and I'm like, one of the things I was really glad about is they got to show me being friends with my friends on that show. It wasn't me like being like, oh, I hate this guy. He's my comp. They just let me be buddies with my buddies, That's awesome. Like I was texting with some of the contestants on my episode last night during the episode.
How do you feel about the judges? How do you feel about the judges?
Don't try to get me in trouble.
I thought D-Wade was incredible.
Oh yeah.
He was
He's taking notes, bro.
Yeah,
he was writing things down. Good. I was like, okay, Dwayne.
Yeah, one thing.
So funny.
When I found out that he was going to be the guest judge, I just kind of shrugged. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like the other guest judges, like last week it was Brad Paisley. You can have a pretty good idea of probably what he knows.
Get on TV?
But at least if you hear Brad Paisley, you're like, okay, he probably knows a lot about music, so he's going to look at the singers. And,
he shouldn't be on TV, though. Like, I like Brad Paisley's music. He's a West Virginia guy, too, so I like him even more. Every time he's on TV,
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks is so bad. Every interview he does, it's always just like, I don't know if it's him or the way it's edited, but it's never great for the Brad Paisley.
Peyton carries him in the commercials.
Oh, those commercials are pretty good, though.
Not bad.
Maybe I should take it back. Maybe I should.
Yeah, but Peyton
Hard Knocks was tough.
Do they talk to you backstage, any of the judges? They try to keep you separated?
You are completely separated from
Jeopardy
them.
James said he wasn't even allowed to talk to Trebek.
Yep, we're not. The only times I've talked to any of them outside of Terry Crews, because you do a little bit more with him because you're doing interviews, is on stage. So what you saw on television is my interaction with the judges.
They don't want to make it look like they have favorites or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the competition is very real. There is an actual cash prize
Right.
involved with this.
Yeah.
So there's no, you're not fraternizing with any of the judges or anything. They keep you far away.
A lot of money. I mean,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you're in top 5, you're going to make money for a long time.
Yeah,
That's
you're doing all right.
It's like John Dorenbos. He didn't win. I don't think he was top 5 or top 3, and getting on that big of a stage, it opens so many eyes to your talent. I'm so excited for you to hit the corporate circuit at some point. If you add like just a little tiny bit of motivation into your comedy, you'll be getting booked for these corporate events that we went and saw Dorenbos down here at the convention center. We watched. He had like 7,000 people that were there for a convention, and he was motivating them with his magic. It's just like that stage opens so many awesome doors, and it's going to be great to watch you thrive.
I've already been hit up by a few.
Let's go.
Kind of like disability awareness and like advocacy groups and things like that. So I'm working on it. Like it's gonna be fine because I can just be a genuine guy who's not afraid to talk about his life. But my comedy has never been about motivating, like on purpose. You know, I didn't start this to be an inspiration.
Yeah,
That stuff drives me insane.
Yeah, I don't think you should turn into like what's his name?
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
But if you just add like one, and that's why you can be anything you want to be. You can go ahead and put stand-up comedian, motivational speaker.
It's funny that you would mention that exact line because that used to, even as like a child, like 5 years old, that was an immediate red flag of nonsense every time I heard that. Because like you have to be self-aware. Like I don't think you can be anything you want to be. I'm never gonna pitch in the majors, everybody. That ship sailed.
Oh, not with that mindset.
Yeah, that's how people treat it. Like they always did. Like, well, Jim Abbott did. Yeah, well, he wasn't like he didn't win a raffle.
Yeah, he also had one arm. To
Yeah,
throw with.
exactly. It was good. But like I always you should just figure out what you're good at.
Right.
Fail at some stuff and then figure out what you're good at. You're good at something, but you can't be anything.
I know you played football.
Yes.
You didn't play baseball.
I did for a few years, really young.
Okay, so what are some things that you've tried that you're bad at, and what are some things that you've tried you're like better at this than I thought I was going to be?
So baseball, I was really, really good as far as like an 8-year-old can be really, really good at baseball.
Okay.
Kind of physical limitations sort of caught up at me as everyone else got, throwing faster and stronger. I just wasn't going to throw faster enough to, I just couldn't keep up eventually.
Got it.
I played basketball for a year. I was terrible. I'm surprisingly bad at soccer. That's one. That's one that has been. I'm really good at video games. That's something I probably shouldn't be good at, but I am.
Like surprise, like you went into it expecting not to be great, and then
I've never went into anything expecting to suck at it.
Okay,
I just have enough self-awareness to know that if I do suck, it's fine because there's other things I'll be good at.
I gave it a go, Ryan. You gave it a good go.
Exactly.
This just isn't for you.
Yeah. I wish a lot of people in comedy would realize that at some point. You gave it a good go.
Hey,
Right.
that's all right. I want to talk about that for a second. 'Cause
Sure.
Pat and I talk about this all the time. So, what keeps some people going?
Yeah.
And I'm not being mean. 'Cause I'm not mentioning anyone specifically, but we've all seen them everywhere. 12, 15 years in, never really get any kind of sizable laugh. What keeps that person going?
I think part of it is just having if it's always been your dream, it's hard to let go of. And I think with something like stand-up specifically, if your dream was to be in the NFL, there's a very clear point where that's not going to happen,
Right.
Or that it hasn't happened.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
Like if you get to be 37, 38 and you've never, got there, you're like, okay, well, I'm not talented enough.
Oh, there's the X Factor.
But with comedy, you can anyone can literally do that today.
Yeah.
Any person
Sign up
listening
for
to
an
this
open
right now
mic.
can just go, hey,
You can go.
and now I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
So you can be physically doing the thing you're terrible at.
And
So
say
it's-
you're that. Yeah.
But if you want to be in the NFL, you're not. They don't let you come and open mic at training camp, and
get some throws in.
Yeah, just really grind it out with the pros and
Uh-huh.
everything. They don't do both comedy. Like I mean, when I was just starting and I had no business there, I did a show with Robin Williams 6 months into comedy.
Yeah.
You can accidentally fall into situations where you think you're killing it more or things are going well. And if you don't have strong self-awareness, it's hard to fight against that.
I get it, but you had aptitude, right? So there's a difference. I have a theory that there's two different theories. One is if you never really competed ever in your life, you don't really know what success feels like. You don't know that if 3 out of 40 people laugh, that's not good.
This has been deep conversations. We've had these conversations.
We've had these in depth, and then also, I've seen that comedian that gets off stage. He's like, I felt pretty good about that, and I'm like, what gave you that idea? How are you not hearing what everybody else is hearing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they have the ability to just zone that out, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not as strict on stuff like that, too, because I also, even though I would settle for nothing less than making it as big as humanly possible, this can also just be a fun hobby. So even if you're terrible...
I can appreciate that.
I know people who are terrible at knitting
Yeah.
who still love to try to knit because
but their knitting
therapeutic.
But their knitting isn't ruining 150 people's night.
Maybe their hobby is just making people miserable. And that is a way to do it in bulk, quickly.
And I've seen that person too. They're a regular at the open mics, but that person knows they're not doing well. They just enjoy the camaraderie.
Yeah,
and
they like
up
hanging out
and-
with the comics,
And it's like
It's
a
a
bucket
weird
list
thing.
thing. They
Yeah.
do for it. There are some comedians though where I watch and I'm like, man, if I would have done that in any of my shows, I would have never got on stage again. If I would have heard the only like 2 people laugh through the whole thing that I obviously brought. I would never get on stage again. And that's how weak I am. That's why that's how weak I am.
Yeah, I mean, 12, 15 years in, Ryan.
Yeah. I mean,
they've never had any level of success in one single show.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Todd's getting
It's,
pretty
the
specific here.
persistence is unbelievable. But no,
bleep
and this
12
isn't
to
even
15.
specific because this is probably literally 40% of stand-up comedy at every local scene.
Oh, you're gonna
40%.
become instantly an OG face of stand-up comedy, by the way. Yeah, you're gonna become like an instantly. Because you look at the big name comedians, you look at Rogan, Dave Chappelle, obviously, Kevin Hart, Jerry Seinfeld, of course. You go through this list of OG comedians, Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, you do the Blue Collar Comedy Tour people. These people that are notable comedians, people that have made it into a lot of people's eyeballs as stand-up comedians, you immediately, to the other stand-up comedians, become like the OG, like they're the old face of comedy. Are you excited to kind of be a mentor almost to some people?
Yeah, it's cool.
Will you do that? Because in the NFL, starting quarterback, a younger quarterback gets drafted, his eventual successor, and not somebody should go lock that. No, you're good. Not every starting quarterback is willing to help the younger one, teach them, right? It came out Ben Roethlisberger was not teaching the younger quarterback. They tried to talk bad about him, but if you think about it from a business sake, it's like, why would Roethlisberger give away all these secrets that it took him like 45 surgeries to learn? So,
hey, what can I do to help you replace me? Anything you need. I'll be glad.
But in comedy, I feel like those older guys take a lot of pride in like helping the younger comedians. Is that something that you're ready for and prepared for and excited for?
Yes, and mostly because when I started, people reached out to me and did that when they really didn't have to.
It's awesome.
I think it's a good chunk of it is just who helped you when you started, like kind of how you came up. It's that, nature versus nurture kind of argument. Like if you were nurtured well in comedy and then you don't pay it forward, you're a dick.
Bad guy. Todd said this about cops. Todd said this about
same thing
cops.
with cops.
Like the veteran cops have to teach the young cops how to act because if not, they'll just turn into.
Yeah, if you're an older cop, the same way in comedy, same way in the NFL or anything, and a new person comes in and there's no desire in you to, if you're just like, oh fuck them, they'll figure it out on their own. You're a piece of shit.
You know what I mean? Because they probably won't. You develop a lot of bad habits because there's so much. And with anything, I only know comedy, but like there's so many like intricacies and nuances and unwritten rules about like etiquette and things like that you don't learn unless you either have someone that was kind enough to kind of tell you, hey, don't do that.
Right.
Or you screw up
Yeah.
and really embarrass yourself and ruin,
The unwritten rules of places are things that, man, if you don't know them, you can really get yourself on the bad side of some PR problems. We had a couple of young football players that came in that were just like unwritten rules. Like, obviously, it might not say that is Robert Mathis's parking spot, but if you see Robert Mathis's truck in that spot every single day, let's just assume that he fucking took claim of that particular parking spot.
Yeah, he's got dibs.
Yeah.
Let me make your life way easier.
Let's just assume I saw a kid's car get wrapped in saran wrap one day because he was in the spot, and we don't know who did that. Obviously, I was not involved, but neither was Robert Mathis. It was everybody else took up for Robert Mathis. I don't even think Robert knew it happened. Then the kid
that's when you know you have respect.
Oh,
When-
yeah.
when you don't even know you've been slighted because people have already corrected it. That's the respect that I want.
Then it happened again, and the kid's car got shipped to Montana. They brought a fucking freight truck
From
in,
Indy?
from the parking spot to Montana. It was awesome. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
That is amazing.
I have a question along that vein. Do you feel like a sense of accomplishment in making it this far? Obviously, you want to go on and you want to win the whole competition, but just getting to this level, you're obviously seeing some bump in notoriety. You're getting booked for other shows. Do you feel that, like that sense of accomplishment?
Yes, and it's just giving me a taste for more, though. Like that's
Blood in the water.
Yeah, that's the, and I think like I don't think that's unique to me, but a lot of like anyone that's in any field, like you don't just want to, like this was the goal for now, like it was the first goal.
Yep.
Was to get to this, and now that I've got this, okay, how do I make it bigger?
Nobody dreamed of being a one-hit wonder.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I would like another one of these. That'd be great.
Yeah,
By the way, shout out Billy Ray. He stuck at it for 25 years.
and he
found it.
got another one.
And he got another one. Yeah.
That is a hero story if there ever was one. But for me, I think it's about that self-awareness. If I get eliminated next round and I'm never on TV again, I still got to do something that no one gets to do in a big, big way.
It's not going to happen. But Yeah, we understand.
So it's not like I would be like depressed, but like I would be lying if I said I was content right now. I want to win the damn thing.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't want to.
But I think what Nick is saying is you've already won. You've already won the thing. I think that is something.
In certain aspects, yeah.
My career
In
is,
the comedy
is
terms,
good
you
for
have
a while.
won.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've won.
I have major TV appearances, which will, in theory, lead to other TV appearances down the road. Agencies want to work with me now. Bookers who would never return
You and Terry
emails
Crews will be
before.
in the new reboot of Lethal Weapon. Fucking. All right. So how good does it feel, man, when like bookers or clubs or whatever that were ignoring you before when you would email them now reaching out to you and then hey Ryan, we had a fallout, will you take this weekend or whatever? Are you just gouging those motherfuckers on price? Because I would be like, all right, here's twice what I think I should make and book me or not.
I'm more kind of just silently in
Enjoying
my
it?
apartment, just going like, just have that little, because
Put it on mute.
yeah.
Evil laugh.
I've been at the because just like any business though, if you spent your time trying to get back at everyone that's wronged you at some point, you would get nothing else done.
Sure. But it feels good, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
look at it now.
it is very validating to get an email response within 10 minutes of sending it, as opposed to 10 months.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think you're going to go on and win it all too. I think it's only going to get brighter and brighter ahead.
Yeah.
So thankful you came by, brother.
yeah, I'm glad that you guys allow it to happen.
New
Like, you guys are
material
cool.
on AGT or
Some of that's been newish. Yeah, like I'm not gonna say brand new. I didn't write it for AGT, but it's been like a nice combination. I've done jokes that I wrote some version of 10 plus years ago,
a concept.
and I've done some jokes that I wrote 6 months or so.
Yeah, I was gonna
not even
say
that
I've
before.
probably seen you perform 2,000 times in my lifetime,
a
and
lot.
you had stuff on there I hadn't heard.
Yeah, the drive through, the thank you bit, that was relatively new. That's based on a true story that happened about 6 months ago.
And the little bit of improv whenever you said you were single and ladies started throwing their panties
Yep.
verbally.
Oh God, I was proud. As far as my set goes, I was probably most proud of that. And it was just one small little thing, but like, especially for comedian too, it just shows how it helped me show how like diverse I am and like how multifaceted I am. It was just one small improv line, but being able to be comfortable in a moment of something unexpected happening, you know, because like if you're doing your acrobat routine, that's kind of what it is, you know?
Yeah.
So if someone responds in a weird way or something happens, you're still doing that lift or whatever.
If you're a
you know?
juggler, and so, what happened with you is if you're a juggler, somebody from the crowd threw something in, the guy juggled it, threw it back, and then continued to juggle the other thing.
Yeah, he just hacky sacked it back.
Yeah, that's-
boom. There we
Well, and
go.
I think it's like I've never obviously been in the sports entertainment industry, but I would assume if you get your first match in the WWE, you had best already behave like a champion if you ever hope to be the champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt like you have that advantage.
Yeah, act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
Yeah, because that shows that you're quick, and subconsciously, when people hear that, that just adds another level to the like, oh yeah, this guy's a funny guy.
yeah, because I mean, ultimately with stand-up, a lot of the really, really good ones are you want to make it sound like it's the first time you've ever been saying that. You know, like obviously I've said those jokes hundreds upon hundreds of times. But
I don't know
like,
how you do it.
But-
I don't know how you do it. I talked about this with Brendan Schaub. I don't know how you guys. I think that is the difference between an elite stand-up comedian is the ability to do, like he's doing 6-7 sets a week, telling the same exact thing. And I'm like, holy shit. I don't know how you would do it. Whenever I tell the story, it's like a celebration. Like, okay, this story is being told for humans for the first time. And then, okay, we got to do it one more night. All right. And then it's like by the third night, I'm like, I'll tell you what, about sick of this story. I have no
I hate me.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody's laughing. And like the third night, I tell the story and people laughing. I'm like, don't fucking laugh. It's not, that wasn't funny.
Don't you placate me. How dare you?
But that ability to bring the energy and freshness and juice and deliver and patience and everything like that, that is the true talent of stand-up comedians.
I mean, because like Simon sort of hit it right on the head. Like when I'm on stage, I'm having the time of my life. Like that is where I have the most fun ever, you know, like anywhere. So like for me, it's a privilege to get to be out there and do it. Doesn't matter what the show is. I try to work as hard for a crowd of 4 people as I would 4,000 because they showed up.
Yeah.
They did their job. So I'm going to try to give them a show and I'm going to have fun because no one has to like me. And no one had to be there.
I think they do, though.
You know, like,
Especially after listening to this. I think America's going to like you a lot. I think you have, not that this show will help you at all. America's Got Talent is massive, and you're the highlight of the show. So I want to
Still vote.
vote.
But our people.
yeah. Please don't assume anything.
Need to still vote. A lot of incredibly talented humans have lost talent shows because their fans get arrogant and say they don't think they need them. I think Ryan Nehmiller deserves us. I think Ryan Nehmiller is going to show up and perform. And I'm so thankful that you came through here again. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag Club Nub at Cripple Threat 8. There were 7 others. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Nehmiller.
Thank you, guys.
Love that guy, man. He's really cool. He hung out here for a few hours too. I appreciate him doing that. But he's no, honestly, he waited to get in here. It was awesome of him. We were very busy. I'm pulling hard for him.
Yeah. Super nice dude, too.
The best.
Literally pulling hard for him. I feel like he is at a stage of his life too where he's excited about. Where at one point you could potentially be nervous about what's happening. He feels like he's really taking in the whole moment.
Yeah. It can happen to a better comic, better person.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Before we get to Mr. Tenpenny, we have to sell some stuff. And Ty Schmidt gave a speech this past weekend at a wedding. I've heard rave reviews. Ladies and gentlemen from Waterloo, Iowa, Ty Schmidt.
Listen, guys. All right, you can get as many massages, do as many stretches, and take as many ice baths as you want. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, you're just not recovering properly.
Amen.
You're just not doing it.
I think the thing about it is you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, our friends at CBDMD, a trusted leader in the CBD industry, understand the importance of sleep, which is why they have a product specifically made for rest and relaxation that is a perfect complement to their full suite of other CBD products that offer long-lasting, high quality relief throughout the day.
That's insane to think about how much high quality relief they get.
Yeah, a lot of high quality stuff there.
All over the place.
For example, we got CBD PM, which is a...
That's my thing.
Yeah, Pat talks about it all the time. It's
Sleep like a baby.
Right.
Like a drunk baby.
specially formulated tincture that combines melatonin and other sleep-promoting herbs with CBD, which can help your circadian rhythm or your sleep cycle, for you laymen out there,
People say.
get back on track, okay? It's allowing you to get high-quality sleep consistently, and all you got to do is take it 30 minutes before bedtime.
It's incredible. And it's also CBDing you through the night, so that relief that they talked about all day is now happening through your rest. So your deeper sleep, your dreams are awesome, and your body's recovering. It's the perfect little...
Circadium.
Yeah, Ty just kind of dunked on you there.
Right in your face, Zito.
I mean,
I know now.
He called you layman.
Sorry, Zeke.
It's a perfect term for Zito.
It really is.
Was that just a lame that's in?
Now you're a layman. It's out.
But we also got CBD gummies. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We got delicious CBD infused gummies that come in a 30 count of 4 mixed flavors. We got tropical, mixed berry, strawberry, and orange, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah, you do. I saw you smuggling them out of the
Yep,
office.
exactly. Same deal. All I got to do is take them an hour before bed to help me relax and unwind. They work perfectly.
Night.
Night is right.
And it makes you, by the way, it makes you feel good not to have to just take Tylenol PM every night.
Yeah, exactly.
I've changed the way I view myself before going to bed. Instead of just swallowing pills, I just take a couple drops on the tongue, and I'm like, I'm no scientist, but it just feels like this is better for me than just housing pills.
You look at yourself differently when you wake up in the morning.
Well, you're a big tincture guy.
You are.
Tink, tink.
You are.
People talk about that tincture, and I'm like,
They do. We actually got some CBD oil tinctures here, which is very similar to the CBD PM, but it doesn't have the melatonin or the other herbs. Okay?
smart.
So these.
What's that other herb that's potentially in there?
Velveeta.
That's cheese.
Coursing through your veins.
You haven't deserved it. You actually
Talking about lavender?
lavender.
Lavender, yeah.
There we go.
Lavender. I think they put that in there. Sam and I got a couples massage one time, and the people just started like spreading the lavender out, and they put it right under my nose.
Oh.
My head was through the hole, and they just put it right under my nose.
That can't be good.
I was out like a light, bro. Like that, out of nowhere. So I have no idea how the massage was. Right, I passed out. I missed the whole thing. I think that was on purpose.
Oh, they don't even massage.
Yeah,
them.
the
They
lady's
knock
probably
you
just
out.
like, all right, for 90 minutes, just one of
Is
these.
that good pressure?
He's
He's
sleeping.
fucking out.
He's
Doesn't
sleeping.
matter.
Oh, are you sleeping? Oh, she's sleeping too. Yep.
Be back in 30 minutes.
Slapping our backs. I think that happened. Anyways, you team that up with the melatonin, though. I pass out to this stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And, whether you're recovering from a hard day, a long night, or a tough workout, CBMD is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game. All right? You add some tinctures, some gummies, and some CBD PM to your regular routine. It's the best way to sleep naturally. You're going to wake up refreshed. So I want you guys to go out there and take advantage of all that CBDMD has to offer. Go to cbdmd.com. Promo code McAfee for 20% off your first order. That's cbdmd.com/McAfee.
That's awesome. Shout out to CBDMD, taking care of my sleeping issue. I really thank him for that. All their other products are in the office and used. Tim McAfee used their product the other day, said his knee felt better. Oh, Tim McAfee. They're good. They got good shit. I'm thankful they're here.
The rolly stick is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using my hands.
You know what else is nice? A good rising country musician. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man that I just learned of recently. His debut single, Drunk Me, which we will talk about because the lyrics in the story will hit home with a lot of dudes out there, is an RIAA, which I have no idea what that means, platinum certified song. His newest song, Alcohol You Later, is also a heater. I knew nothing about this man a week ago. I am a big fan now. FaceTiming us from his pickup truck in the middle of the woods. Ladies and gentlemen, country musician Mitchell Tenpenny.
Nice, I like that accent on Tenpenny. That's good.
It's impossible to say Tenpenny without. Is that your real last name?
Yeah, my daddy gave it to me.
Okay, so I was doing a little research. Your peoples reached out to our peoples and said, "Hey, we think this guy would be good on the show because we enjoy music. We do a lot of music on our show. We enjoy country music. We got some country musician friends, and they're like, you're going to enjoy this guy." And we started doing some research. The first song I listened to was "Alcohol, Alcohol." Alcohol you later. And I was like, this guy's got some real gems in there. And then Drunk Me, I listened to that. RIAA, what does that mean?
Recording Industry Association, something, I don't know.
Oh, so it means something big deal. It's a platinum song, and I listened to it. It's incredible. How long have you been doing this country music thing, and why haven't I heard of you yet? This is 100% my fault.
Oh, well, first, is that a crag behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible. I've always wanted that as a kid.
Well, you got to send it over to Mo.
Wow. Sorry. I'm a little sidetracked. That's awesome.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I've been doing country music since I was born. I mean, I grew up born and raised in Nashville. All this stuff, man. I'm so jealous. I have wrestling belts too. Look, y'all are awesome. You're gonna fit right in. But yeah, man. Just since I was born, I've been been in bands. I've gone from screaming hardcore emo bands to country music to pop. I've done everything, and more in the last probably 6 or 7 years, really focused in on country, and came back home to like how I was born and raised, got all the teenage things out of the way, and started doing this.
Yeah, because you're from Nashville, born and raised, from my understanding. And it almost feels like in Nashville, there's so much talent down there. I mean, you just wander around, and there's probably a future CMA Artist of the Year performing in some little dive bar. It had to be difficult to kind of find your footing there in the music world. Is that why you bounce around all the different genres, or was that just your interest at the time?
No, I was just interested at the time, but I mean, you're right. I mean, the people, serving you food are probably better than you. It's just the way that everyone's like really good, and it's just about being persistent and doing it over and over until people are finally like, shit, man, I'm just going to give you the record deal because I'm tired of seeing you come in here. So it's like, I mean, literally, it's just about being persistent because everyone's so talented there, man. It's crazy.
Okay, so do you write your songs? Are you part of the production of the songs? And let's start talking about some lyrics here.
Yeah, I write every song I cut. I co-produce with my best friend Jordan Schmidt on all the records, and it's just something I love to do. I've always done that since I was a kid.
How long have you known Jordan?
I've known Jordan for 5 years maybe now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are like a little tag team over there, writing songs, making songs?
Yeah, we write a lot of songs together, produce them up. I have like my core group that I write most of my songs with, and then they're just some of my best friends in the world, so we kind of get each other. It's easy to write with.
A lot of your songs involve having a good time. It feels like you like to party a bit.
I do. That's why I apologize. I'm a little hungover right now. I put an offer in on a house, and we got a phone call late last night that they accepted, so we went to the bar and had a good time. So, yeah.
Is this your first house? Congrats.
It's not my first, but it's my first with my girlfriend. We're moving in together. Thank you.
Hey, forever's a long time, man. Go ahead and put a ring on it. I'll start pressuring you because I got pressured for 3 fucking years to do it, and I just did it. Congrats on the new house. Congrats on having a good time with that. Drunk Me is the platinum song from the recording industry. And it makes sense because it is a song that relates to so many humans. Like whenever we were playing it in here, everybody was listening. It was like, oh yeah, back in the day, old drunk me used to make terrible decisions. Sober me used to hate drunk me. How did that all come to be? I assume you or one of your friends made a Vital Air late night texting, and then it was like, all right, let's change this whole thing about.
Yeah, man. I mean, it comes down to that. You go to the bar after you break up, you try to drink them off your mind, and it just never really works out that way. And I wanted to write that song about, quitting drinking for a second to like stand a chance of getting over them. And then like when you get over them, then you can call up your buddies and go party. But like for a second, man, because every time I'd go to the bar and try to drink, it just made me want to call them more. And I was like, shit, this ain't fucking working, man.
Do you have to? So like in stand-up comedy, you hear a lot of comedians do observational comedy that everybody will understand. Okay, so you make a joke about something that everybody goes through, everybody feels. Is it the same thing whenever you're writing a song or trying to write a hit? It's like, I can't be the only one that feels this way.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to write about my age group, what I see every day and what I hang out with, the problems we're all dealing with, and just be honest with it. I mean, shit, get drunk dial. That happens all the time. And people don't say it or admit it all the time, but I will. Shit, I've done it.
Let's fast forward to another song you have out that has a YouTube video currently called "Bitches."
Shit, sorry. Yeah, hell yeah.
It's yeah. Yeah, well, I'm happy you picked it up there. In the country music world, you would never in a million years think a song from a country musician would be named Bitches. But you have a song titled Bitches, and the YouTube video was highly enjoyable here at the office.
Jeez. Yeah, man, fuck it, I say it how it is, man. And again, it's not about calling girls bitches or guys bitches. It's about calling bitches bitches. And man, sometimes it's the only word that evokes that emotion. And I just, I played for a minute, trying to be safe. I was like, I don't deal with different things. And I was like, no, man, it's fucking bitch. It's like, that's how you feel. And people resonate with it somehow, man. I don't know. I was nervous. Everyone was a little nervous. So I was like, man, if I'm going to do this artist thing, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And thank God they believed in me and let me do it, because it's one of my favorite songs to play live. It's always a fun song. Everyone sings it back, and it's just a cool moment when everyone's screaming bitches at you.
I can imagine. I mean, Too Short had that run for a while. What's my favorite word? And everybody, no matter who they were, old white people, young African American, bitch, come on, say it like Short.
It's
bitch.
true, man.
Yeah.
We got 4-year-old girls down at like old grandmas, man. It's just the weirdest thing, but I love it. It's fun.
Has the music in it, because I'm surprised that song got passed, because it feels as if country music is a machine, right? You talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this, chorus hits, you talk about this, we all make a lot of money. That feels like that's what country music is. That feels like a potential, not all of country music, but there seems to be a portion of country music right now that's just set and repeat recipe. It's going to be a banger. People are going to like it. Let's all get rich. Has it been tough to get your own creative freedom?
See, no, because I started my own label to put out bitches, because I knew nobody.
I like a good independent story, entrepreneur story.
Yeah, and so I did that to do it my way, and then, luckily we built up a fan base and played a CMA Fest show, and Sony happened to be there and saw everyone singing back, bitches and a couple other songs, and once that happened, they let me do me. Which again, if I would have walked into Sony office or Universal or one of the big record companies and showed them bitches, they would laugh me out or tell me that would never happen. But I went and did it myself and started my own label and did all that, and it was just kind of teed it up for them to see, like, hey man, this is it's working. Country market wants to hear this. I mean, I still believe that the country market, they're tired of people telling them the way they were raised is wrong. That's they think this way too, but the media always says this shit all the time, and everyone's got to make everyone feel so happy and shit. And I don't give a fuck about that. So I just want to say it how it is, man.
Hey, bitches got you signed to Sony, man. That's insanity. That's incredible. Good for you. We interrupt this conversation with one of your new favorite country musicians for a reading by Zito.
Oh, jeez. It says go off script.
Good start.
Not many words on this.
Should be good.
Explain why bird dogs are good. They are gym shorts with a built-in silky soft inner liner and makes underwear obsolete.
Oh, great word there,
Oh,
Zito.
yeah.
Especially because that's off script. You just made that one up.
Oh, yeah. It is finally short season, which means it's bird dog season.
Yeah, it is.
Damn right.
I'm going to talk about how comfortable they are.
Please do.
Let's hear it.
I wore them the other day. I can wear them anywhere I want. They're so comfortable.
Okay, you can wear them to bed if you wanted to.
Exactly.
You can wear them to a boardroom meeting if you wanted to.
Swimsuit?
Golf course.
You can swim. You can golf in them. They are all-terrain shorts.
Workout.
That keep your kit. Definitely work out. I work out in them all the time. They keep your kit and caboodle in place without having to waste underwear, because the shorts keep it easy breezy, little breathy, with the bird dogs fit perfectly to your tighty squeezy.
Can I add something to that?
Yep.
It literally feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Are they still giving away the nunchucks? You have the script over there.
I'm not there yet, but I think so.
Yeah, Easy thing just to scroll down. I think it's probably like 1.5 inches.
So I don't like to go too far. Oh, yeah, they do. But that's call to action, though. Am I calling it already?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to call to some action right now.
That a boy.
Go to birddogs.com, enter promo code America, and they'll throw in a pair of nunchucks.
That's insane to me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You get the best pair of shorts you've ever put on and nunchucks.
They're going to give you an actual weapon along with your pair of bird dogs.
Nunchucks.
You get the nunchucks with the bird
I
dogs.
always thought they were numchucks, by the way.
Me too.
And then I read this ad and it's nunchucks.
None.
Because they make you go numb.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because you hit it with the flat end there, it does make you go numb. It kind of puts it to sleep. It's like a tud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever done nunchucks?
No, I was
Bruce Lee?
too afraid I would hurt myself.
You would. They're very difficult, but these ones are padded. They're set up for you to succeed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe.
Practice chucks?
Like like a set of
Yeah,
training
but just like
training
the,
chucks.
just like the shorts though, you can take the training chucks
yeah.
into field.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
for
both.
sure.
Yeah,
They're
it's a
good for
step
both.
up before you master nunchaku.
What?
The art of nunchaku.
They don't like to be called that. That's birddog.com, promo code America, and boom, a pair of free nunchucks with your pair of bird dogs. You won't take these things off, I promise you.
I agree with that. Wore 'em for a week straight whenever I was in Hawaii, and I'll probably do it for most of the summer again now. I love them because you don't have to. I do a lot of traveling. Okay,
A lot of
do a lot of traveling. You know what sucks during the traveling part is making sure you have enough underwear for the trip because it's taking up space in your already small bag. And now with the bird dogs,
Leave them out.
at least 2 days of trip, I don't have to match because I can wear 2 pairs of bird dogs.
And no underwear.
And yeah, they got the underwear for you. Growing up, I always hated the underwear in there. I've always hated it.
Poop catchers.
But just like, the poop catchers. They say just like your taste buds change like every 5 years.
Yeah.
I do believe my thighs changed because I think I used to not be able to handle it irritation wise. Now they're good to go. I'm a big bird dogs guy. I'm all aboard the bird dogs train.
Caw-caw.
Bird
Woof.
dogs.com/America.
Yep.
And get some nunchucks.
Nunchuck it up.
Respect. Back to the conversation with Mr. Tenpenny. Do you have another album come out? Your debut album was up for a couple. You were up for a couple nominations for CMA awards for new artists and breakthrough artists, and your video got a lot of love. Are you working on a new album right now? That's kind of how it works, right? New album, tour, award season, repeat. That's country music world. Am I right?
It is, man. Yeah, we're already starting on the new record. We got a new song releasing Friday. 2 more songs that go on a bonus record, and then I hit the studio in like a month to start recording for the next record.
Can I get a part of a writing? Can I be a part of a writing circle?
Please come on in, man. You do it. We'll drink whiskey and write something. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll figure it out.
I'm not doing a lot of the drinking anymore, but I'll bring all the vitamins you need.
All right, fair enough. I'll drink for you and you eat some vitamins.
Hey, what's the song that's dropping on Friday?
It's got a song called Anything She Says. About to announce our tour Friday as well. Our first headlining tour, which will be this fall, and we're taking out a band called Seaforth. So we featured them on the song, and I wrote it with them. So
how big are the places you're playing? How big are the venues?
I mean, it depends. Anywhere. Right now we're on all the festivals. I mean, they could be
That's awesome.
30 to 60,000 people.
That's awesome.
It just depends on what town or what festival it is.
I was listening to a Rick Ross rap song recently, and he was talking about the young rappers bragging about being in festivals because they're not getting any decimals, I believe was the words he rhymed. The festivals, that feels like that's just an incredibly good time. How is it for business-wise, though, too?
Yeah, I mean, festivals pay the bills too. I mean, that's how you make your money. When you go on your own tours, you got a lot of cost. You have to bring everything. You have to bring your setup, all the sound, all that stuff, and you do that for your fans, and it obviously get bigger. But festivals bring everyone in at once. All country music fans or all whatever genre you're at, they love the music, and you're set up to make, actually make money on the road, because again, you don't have to carry as much gear and equipment. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, because when you're a small operation, you got to put everything together yourself. So it's
right. Absolutely.
You reduce those costs, right? You take away what's going out, and you multiply what's going in. Mr. Tenpenny, that's how you collect a ton of pennies. You know what I mean?
I love it. Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotta hustle. I know exactly what you mean.
You playing at Bogart's in Cincinnati?
No, I might be. I don't know. I never know where I'm at or where I'm going.
Well, I'm just saying you should play there.
Bogarts
in Cincinnati, yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
It's not great for comedy, but I think your type of music would crush in there.
Yeah.
Crush.
Hell yeah.
They got 3 bars in the venue.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and Tom Petty's played there. All the greats have played there. I think you should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you in there for sure if you're not there yet. I'm gonna tell them.
Come on, yeah.
They gave me a medal for playing there.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. And I got a brick there.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna get you in there.
If you sell out, you get a brick and a medal.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. All right. Well, Mr. Tenpenny, I appreciate you so much. We're about to have a pretty big show announcement. Intro song. How much would I have to pay Mitchell Tenpenny to make a 30-second intro song?
30-second intro song? Well, I'll do it. What do you need?
Okay, we'll talk off the air. Sounds like I think the way your songs go could be a great intro song too. I think we can make it a hilarious because the way you're good with words, man.
Hey, well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll come up with something. Come on.
I like that a lot.
How long would a 30-second intro song take you? Because we hired someone else to do one. It took like 6 months. So
wow, shots fired.
I give you 6 minutes. I don't think it should take.
Well, good luck on everything. Good luck on the song release.
Thank you.
Good luck on the new album. I can't wait to hear it. I mean, anybody that's just going to start their own record label because they write a song that they think is going to work, that nobody else will think it works, then it works, and that song gets you a real contract. I mean, that's a fucking cool story. I enjoy that type of human. So I'm excited to be a fan of yours, Mr. Tenpenny.
Well, thanks, man. Fairness, I didn't know what I was doing, so I can't take all the credit. It's pretty stupid, but it worked out, so I'll accept it.
You a sports fan?
Oh, biggest sports fan, man. Predators and Titans all day long.
Let's go Penguins. Let's go Colts. The Predators getting good has to be great for the city, though, right? I mean, everybody was turning out for that.
It was insane. It was the most electrifying. I'm not biased on this. It was like the Stanley Cup Finals when we went against the Penguins was the most crazy sporting event I've ever been to in my life. Like all of downtown Nashville, Broadway was packed with 200,000 people watching on a big screen. They'd shut it off, and then inside the arena, I was fortunate enough to go to all the games. It was nuts, man.
Nashville being your hometown, watching it grow into what it's growing and perform the way it's performing. Like at the draft, Nashville performed. Like the city itself showed up, right? Because the way it's built, the bars, the humans that are running the bars, the cops, the city of Nashville showed up for the draft and for the Stanley Cup Finals, and it's just blowing up. All you see is those goddamn, what are those things? Cranes. All you do is see cranes everywhere in Nashville. It's just blowing up. You have to be pretty proud of your hometown.
I am, man. No one gave a shit about us growing up. I hate the traffic. That's the only thing. But I mean, all we fucking had were Logan's Roadhouse and Chili's. Now we got all this great food, and it's good, man. So I'm loving it, dude. It's in my city. You know, they put it on the map, and it was sports that did it. So when we got the Preds and Titans, and it took a minute, but it kind of brought a new audience in there. It cleaned up Broadway from brothels and everything to making it like trendy bars and, you know, places to hang out. And so it's just blowing up, man. It's nuts.
Hey, sports do good, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sports do good. They do bad, too. But sports...
The Titans have been doing bad for a long time. Excuse me. Hopefully this is our year, though. I can feel it.
You said it, not me, man.
Especially if Tom Brady's suspended for, you know, cliff jumping with his dog.
Hey, if he didn't pull her that hard, she probably hits off a rock. Now, granted, if he lets go, she probably doesn't jump at all. So there's, I mean, he's in a bad spot there.
Dude, I mean, I could care less. Like,
Do you have any kids?
I do not that I know of. Hopefully not.
Every Father's Day that passes, no card. Good day for Tenpenny. All right, man. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything. I hope to hear from you soon, brother. Is this your number?
Yeah, absolutely. Call anytime, man.
All right, we're going to hit you up. Ladies and gentlemen, new music dropping tomorrow. New album dropping soon. Going to be at festivals. Have a good time with this guy. I can't wait to watch you grow, man. Mr. Mitchell Tenpenny.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Love that guy. I'm a big fan of him. I hope everybody listens to his music. Bitch has got him signed. That's awesome.
What an incredible story. Just fuck it. I'll do it myself. It's like you always say. It's your book.
I enjoy I enjoy whenever the person being interviewed knows that I know nothing about them. You know what I mean? Yeah. He knew that I knew nothing about him going into that thing, except for the RIAA Certified Platinum song, which I didn't even know what RIAA meant. And I think that really, the fact that he handled it the way he did says a lot about him.
It does.
You know what I mean? Cool guy, humble guy. One of our guys. I like him a lot. I think he's going to maybe do the intro song.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The electric.
It would be.
Yeah.
I think it could be good.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, that's the show. Football's happening. It's all kicking off.
Good pun. Kickoff.
First day of camp and already news.
What happened?
Well, Taylor Lewan, first 4 games suspended.
Our guy?
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Taylor Lewan.
Yeah.
Been on the show before.
Jalen Ramsey shows up in a Brinks truck.
I like that move. The guy announcing him could have done some work announcing. I don't think he was ready for the moment, but he might have been the Brinks truck driver.
Yeah.
And he said, I could do it for you. But I liked him showing up in the Brinks truck. Time to get the money. You know what I mean? Time to get the money work, man. I like it a lot.
Packers cut Mike Daniels.
Yeah.
Scumbag move. Ty?
I'm
Yeah,
not sure who Mike Daniels is.
I don't love it. He went to Iowa, very good D tackle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, very good D tackle. His wife posted something about, like how excited she was for them to him to be going back to camp. He got cut like 4 minutes later.
Oh no!
All right.
Yeah, not great.
Money issue. Someone's going to pick him up.
Well, yeah, the guy they signed to replace him. I don't know if that's the answer, but that's neither here nor there.
You're an owner, though.
Yeah, I know. The owners' meeting was today, actually, or yesterday.
Did you call in?
I should have, but the GM spent 40 minutes thanking Mike McCarthy, and I want no part of that. So,
Hey, I'm an owner. We're on to the future, bub.
yeah, exactly.
The past is making us $0 today. You're an owner, businessman.
Goddamn right.
Anything else? Adrian Peterson news?
Because of his going broke thing, the pictures of his 30th birthday party from a couple years ago are going viral again. Pretty awesome looking party.
Oh, I bet it was. At least he knows where a lot of that money went. You know?
Yeah.
At least he enjoyed it.
He had like fucking snake charmers and like a 50-foot ice bar.
Oh, yeah, let's
and
go.
He rode in like on an elephant, I thought I saw.
Those are expensive.
So he had a party planner do this. These types of people are the people that can drain you, by the way. Yeah, you definitely need to ride an elephant in it. Yeah, you're right, aren't you? Yeah. Adrian will get that back somehow, though.
Yeah.
Happy for him. Taylor Lewan, I didn't expect that, especially with being when you're a vocal person, right? Which he is. He has his own podcast, Bussin' with the Boys. It does well. But maybe you'll dip. I mean, Julian Edelman had one last year. He ended up being Super Bowl MVP. I mean, who knows?
He said he didn't know that he took it or whatever it was. He said he didn't know, and then he said he took a polygraph test that proved that he didn't know.
By the way, very real thing that I think the NFL is wrong about is they say you are responsible for whatever you put in your body. We would also like you to be faster. We'd also like you to be stronger. We'd like you to do all these things that supplements could potentially help. But supplements aren't FDA approved. So you can take a supplement one day. It's good. And then that factory just so happens to get tainted with something somewhere, wherever it's being thing. You take the same supplements with the same ingredients on the side of the thing, and all of a sudden, boom, you fail a test. That is really possible. I'm not sure if this is what happened or what happened with other guys, but it is a real thing because they're not FDA approved. So those things can have whatever they want. They don't have to have any marketing on the outside at all. They do it to make you feel as if they're doing something. But those supplements do help. You got guys that are trying to get faster, bigger, stronger, everything like that, and then they're told, yeah, man, just kind of a roll of the dice, though, what you put in your body. We have zero pull for that. And then they tried to take care of it with this app where if it was NFLPA approved, so if the supplement was NFLPA approved, you could put it on like a little square thing where it would read the number in the app, and then it would give you like a green light or a red light, right? It would give you like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And the only things that got thumbs up were like, okay, fiber to make you shit. We got this, like nothing that really had anything in it. And it was companies that were probably just paying for their shit to be okay.
Right.
So it never really caught on with the players because the players were like, well, the only thing that's okay is just like special Kellogg's. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Because you guys could be taking just normal ass pre-workout, and you don't know if that fucking brand slipped something in there that's illegal for you.
Well, and that brand might not know it either because they're
Correct.
doing it from a factory that could
Right.
potentially have to make a new product, and it accidentally just gets on the thing. You have no idea.
And they're not worried about the limited. I mean, that's a very small market or inactive NFL players. So they're not worried about if their recipe interferes with your job or not. They
But-
just know what everybody in the gym likes.
I think there's been a couple lawsuits from NFL players that have taken a supplement in because they hand over the supplement to the testers too. Like I think there's even a whole process of handing over, here's the supplement that I took, and then they go and grab a couple other ones that seem to be around that same time. So I do think there's some investigating that happens because I think there's been some lawsuits that happen. But I think that is a tough thing for players to have to deal with. I mean, you got guys that are just trying to get better. And then if they accidentally take the wrong pre-workout that they've been taking for 15 years, all of a sudden, boom, they're suspended 4 games. And their image, not so much now as it was then. Back in the day, it used to be tainted. Your image was ruined if you failed something. Now it's like becoming like a much more woke society where they're like, oh, the guy probably didn't know he took Adderall. Yeah, he's probably in Vegas. Yeah. He's got 4 days. I feel like that's starting to become more prevalent. But the supplement game for pro athletes is a scary one. It really is. And I'm assuming that what Taylor did is exactly that. He was taking something, had no idea what was in it. That's why the polygraph thing is like, yeah, he feels probably a little validated. You know what I mean?
So after you fail a drug test, automatically you take a polygraph?
No, I think he said he would.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you
I
don't-
thought you said
I don't know if he said
passed
he would
it.
or he said he did.
He might have offered it up, like
Gotcha.
everybody on Maury. You know, like, no, I'll take a polygraph.
Father?
I'll take a polygraph because it is frustrating.
Yeah.
Because he's not getting paid those 4 checks. He's not allowed to be in the facility. You train your
Right.
ass off all off season, then you only get 16 games anyway. So now they're taking away 4 of those games, especially if you're a Pro Bowler, because
He's a leader of that.
a leader of the team, everything.
Yeah.
It sucks whenever you get suspended, and he's probably very upset. Like, well, I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for fucking 10 years. What do you want me to do about it? And then they're like, oh, well, it's not. It's your responsibility to know what's going in your body. It's like, what do you want me to do? Fly to the factory? What do you want me to do? You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll fly to the factory and I'll do a little finger test on all of it. Make sure there's nothing in there that could potentially set off some meth bombs.
So what happens? They just send you an email like, by the way, you can't have
a
B
FedEx.
vitamins.
What do you mean?
Like for like pills and stuff. Like if you're taking a supplement and then like next week that supplement's you're not able to take it anymore. So like
How do
they
they
update you as a player?
Oh,
That's-
you get a list at the beginning of every season.
and most people just like look right past it.
But it's going to be
No.
a
Stuff
that you don't know
tiny
what the
little
fuck it is.
ingredient within that supplement that they're not listing on the bottle.
They're not
You know what I mean?
listed. So guys know the supplements the things that are not allowed in their body.
Yeah.
Guys know their bodies, especially people that are in the NFL, have been in the NFL for a long time. Guys, they say know what's going in your body. I would argue that professional athletes are trying their best to know everything that's going in their body because just like the fucking deer stuff, the deer antler stuff that Ray Lewis, right? That wasn't being tested for, but somebody came up to him and said, hey, this definitely helps with this. So is it illegal what he did? No, I think, but that you could prove that Ray Lewis knows what's going in his body better than anybody else. He's like, well, I know this shit isn't getting tested for. And then as soon as it got started tested for, he stopped taking it. And I know a lot of people bury Ray Lewis for assortment of things, and that thing he was kind of getting a bad rap for a little bit. But as somebody who never took supplements but respected people that did, I think that was him just doing everything he could to get better. And
Got no problem with that.
yeah, exactly. And when they tested it, he stopped taking it. But guys look for everything that's on that list. You have to. And most people, not most people, but some guys have nutritionists who put shit together for them too. It's very interesting. It's an interesting thing the way people get their bodies to peak performance. It's like Instagram. I don't know how those dudes all look the way they look on Instagram.
They don't have any fun.
No fun.
They're all smiling
Yeah,
in
no.
their pictures.
Oh, are they?
Four smiles.
Let me ask you this.
Have you ever seen that many six packs then on Instagram?
No.
I saw a person with
Sorry,
eight
Doug,
pack.
but everybody on Instagram has a fucking
Oh,
eight pack.
it's sick.
It makes no sense.
Because
man.
their oil princes are making them fucking smile. When they fly them over to.
I don't think that's how it works.
Who is driving all right, so someone is always investigating and identifying new performance enhancing substances.
So you're just gonna-
Right? So like the general public, the fans, everybody else would be happy. Like, all right, I think we've already, you're covering most of everything we
know
know
where you're
about.
going.
And now you're adding things we don't even know
So-
what they are. Who's driving that?
Do you know why
further
that is?
research?
You know why that is, right? That's because the wealthy players who have these doctors who can get them around the rules, they're benefiting from it where other
Right.
players who can't afford to do the research can't, right? So you have like the guys who have their nutritionists and dietitians and scientists working on their bodies in the off season. Those guys are always trying to find something that isn't being tested for that they can take, and that's considered a performance enhancement.
I'm not saying this is the case with him, but let's just, because he's the number one quarterback in the league. Let's say Tom Brady, and he's a vet and he's older. So say you're the number one quarterback in the league. You have more money than most everybody else, and you're starting to age, so you can afford good science to work around all these things.
The TB12
it would benefit
treatment.
you to lobby to get all these other substances that are you have to get through supplements and shit to get those added to the list.
No, I would say that Tom might know something,
Correct.
or Tom's people might know something. I'm not saying this ever, but I'm saying for the sake of what Todd and I are talking about, his people would know something that could do something to your body, right? So Tom is benefiting from it. And then other people would see that and be like, oh, well, Tom's benefiting from creatine. Let's say creatine, back whenever creatine was a big problem. Only a couple people knew about creatine being a muscle performance enhancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it became banned there for a little bit because only a few people knew about it, not everybody.
So that's how it's making the list.
Yes.
Like when McGuire
That's
put
what happened.
Andro.
That's what happened with Balco, like because those players can afford that science and to be able to do that.
Okay, so they're driving the creation of the new substances. That
Correct.
makes sense, and that's why they're adding the list, because somebody big time starts using it.
Yes.
So it gets notoriety. But
Or
then,
maybe not even big time. Maybe I have a friend who's a scientist and I'm a rookie. And I have a friend who's like a weird chemist or something. I come from a weird school. I'm a tight end, and my friend's a chemist. And he fucking can somehow come up with some potion or something mixture that makes my testosterone get raised, blah, blah, blah. And it is all natural. They can't test for it, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
That would be an interesting situation, right?
Sure.
Because nobody else can use it.
but probably nobody would notice unless you were performing exceptionally well.
Well, and I think that's what could happen, right? And then people are like, well, how's this guy doing it? And all he does is tell somebody like, oh, yeah, I got this
one
guy that
person.
does this. And then that guy tells somebody, and then they're like, all right, this is now banned because nobody else has it.
Okay, so that's what's driving what makes the list.
In
That's
my
a
head.
beautiful explanation. No, it has to be how it happens. But then who's driving the people behind wanting those new things on the list? You know what I mean? Like who's like, we don't have enough things on the list. We have to constantly strive. At what point do you like, stop? I don't give a shit anymore if that person found something brand new. I already know the HGH and all the big ones. We got them identified.
Nobody's
Don't do
ever
those.
failed an HGH test, by the way,
Right.
in the NFL.
But like
They've
I
been
already know
testing
the
for 4 years.
big ones, right? So why do I give a shit that there's a brand new one that only 3 people know about? Why do I care if that gets on the list?
Well, I think it's because the equality, the fairness of the sport.
Yeah, but who's the body?
Players, NFLPA maybe.
NFLPA, the NFL front office people probably. I mean, if that player isn't on your team, that is like, think about the business, right? Think about the business and all the billionaires sitting around with all their lawyers around them, and it comes out that somebody on the New York Jets, their team, 3 of their players have this new thing. Okay, that gets mentioned somehow in the owners' meetings. If you're Irsay or Irsay's guys, you're like, well, wait a fucking minute. Like, how come they're the only team that can use that? And that's definitely helping their team. I would assume that's
So there's
how.
not like a government body or some health-crazed entity that's
Dr.
associated
Brown
with it.
is a guy who's the head of the substance of abuse, and I believe the performance enhancing thing. His name's Dr. Brown, and he heads a team of piss testers and all that stuff and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is another. I mean, it's a whole big operation now. I mean, they tested me 8 times a month for 27 months, and I'm not the only person that tested. There's a lot of piss getting collected at all times. And the HGH test got added because it was the new thing. Everybody's talking, everybody's taking HGH, everybody's recovering faster, blah, blah, blah. They're getting stronger. They're like, all right, we'll start testing for HGH. Then they learned that the baseline for HGH amongst professional athletes and amongst humans that they were getting the baseline from, like, very different. But they couldn't back out of testing because they said they were going to test it. Nobody has failed for HGH. I have not heard a single human fail for HGH. And I think they're testing, and that's almost to a point where it's like, are you really just drawing blood just to figure out, like, hey, we are testing for HGH? Or is there any way to even test for it?
Right.
They don't even know if they can actually test for it,
That's
I think.
incredible.
Now, I don't know the behind the scenes of it. Maybe nobody's taking it. But it just feels as if the big argument was, well, they don't know what their growth growth hormone levels are versus professional athletes' growth hormone levels, because it could be different. Obviously, we're bigger than most people.
That could make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so if any fail happens, I think the NFL sees like, oh, this is going to be a massive, this is going to be a massive war. But we still have to test for it to say we test for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting, the game. But you got to remember, there's some athletes that will do absolutely anything to get an advantage.
And I would assume there's a lot of incentive financially if you're the guy who did come up with that privately for one person to approach some big ass high dollar supplement company and be like, hey, I got this thing you can add to your formula there.
Or
bang.
The gym rats are going to go crazy over it.
That, or just 10 other of the highest paid NFL players, and they'll get in your program, and that's what happened in MLB.
And then the word gets out.
Yeah. But athletes are trying to get to the top no matter what. That's where the money comes from. That's where everything comes
That's why
from.
they're the best.
They're at the top. And by the way, if they play you in chess, they're probably going to flip the board if you're anywhere near checkmate. It's just a different level of competitive human being. And I'm not saying everybody's Lance Armstrong or everybody's like that, but we can assume that in professional sports across all walks of life, those are probably the most competitive individuals that we have on this earth.
Yes.
If we had to guess. And competitive people will do what they got to do to win. There's different levels to competition and competitive levels, but boy, some of the humans I've seen, it's...
Those in business owners who make it big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're cutthroat, man. You know what I mean? Those humans are just a different level. It's an impressive group of humans, but boy, it must be difficult to be those humans, though. You know what I mean? Like every single thing you do. If somebody gets off like walking in a subway in front of you, like you're pissed off. Like
You can't go anywhere.
yeah, like every day is like, fuck that. I used to be, when I was a kid, everything was a competition because I was so bored, right? So like my brother and I, if we're going to do something, everything was a competition. I viewed everything as a competition. I'd say I was a super ultra competitive human being. But then as you grow older, you're like, all right, not everything. There are some people that are professional athletes that everything, every single thing is a competition still. And it's like, I don't know how you still got it. I don't know how you still have that gene, because I had it. I think I still have it a little bit, but whenever each step you take in your daily life, like step on a crack, you break your back. Like I bet you if you tell that game to a professional, like a couple of the competitive professional athletes and they never heard it before, they won't touch a crack for the next 10 years. Yeah, fuck it. What's the record for this? Yeah, I could do that. Fucking easy. 7 years, just bouncing. It's just the way it goes, man. It's a cool group. Sucks for Taylor, though. Yeah. But as an offensive lineman, I mean, 4 weeks of not getting beat up has to be filled.
True.
You know, there is some silver lining in this whole thing, but the Titans are going to need them.
Yeah.
Tough division.
Everybody's hoping they're going against the Titans in the first 4 weeks. Taylor's a very good football player. Very good at football. That's tough, man.
Yeah, that sucks.
Just going on a polygraph immediately afterwards is a big baller move, by the way. All right. How about you, fucking piss test guy? All right. That's the show. Can't wait to get this fall started. Got a lot of great shit coming. We might go silent for like a week because we might have some remodeling to do. And this fall, not going to be a lot of break time for your boys here. And we're about to run now. We are about to get a running, like Forrest Gump. And once we hit the ocean, I guess we're just going to have to turn around and run again. What's that, Z? You're going to say something?
No, I was just going to play a song on the soundboard.
What was it?
Let 'em run wild.
You sounded like Clayton there.
Thank you. That means a lot.
All right. The show's over. Ty Schmidt hit the music.